Hello there my music lovers, I'm Josh from audiophile-heaven and today we are having a look at Shanling UA2. This is a DAC/headphone amplifier priced at $85 or 85 euros in Europe, and you may also incur some other taxes when purchasing it, but it's a pretty affordable entry-level DAC/headphone amplifier. So let's get down to the unboxing. Inside the UA2 you can find the DAC/headphone amplifier, which needs a cable to be connected. It is not one of those that has a cable attached. It comes with an adapter for computer plugs. You receive a Type-C to Type-C connector because it works with Android phones. You can also purchase an extra cable that is Lightning to Type-C because it can also work with iPhones, and you also receive some high resolution stickers if you find yourself needing them. Like, you can apply them to your smartphone to let everyone else know that it is high-res enabled. Show them some swag, right? The DAC/headphone amplifier is quite tiny. It has a mode button and it has no other buttons. It has a beautiful logo on the front and two headphone outputs on the side. The two headphone outputs are in either 3.5mm single-ended or 2.5mm balanced. To my personal opinion, I tend to prefer using the 3.5mm single-ended connector because it is more general and I'm able to test a larger variety of headphones, but nowadays balanced connectors are getting pretty common and you can find a lot of stuff running them. In terms of driving power, I was able to drive the HiFiMan HA400i 2020. Just see how long that name is. They even decided to cancel this headphone, like it got cancelled and it got replaced with HiFiMan H400S. And that is how they shortened the name. The new headphone is supposed to be pretty similar to the old one, at least if we go by what HiFiMan says, at least in sound. The sound is the most important aspect of the whole setup. This DAC/headphone amplifier looks quite tiny, but it has a ton of driving. As I was saying, you can drive hard to drive planar magnetic headphones very well. It has a good amount of driving power, very beautiful overall sound actually. And one thing I've noticed is that it works driverless. You don't need to install anything, you just connect it either to your computer or to your Android smartphone and it simply works. So you don't need to worry about the UA2 and how you'll make it work. On the other hand, I did notice something. It is one of the DAC/headphone amplifiers that has a very high power draw, like it is eating through your phone's battery very quickly, and this is because it has quite a bit of driving power. If you need something that has a ton of driving power, it is it, but at what cost? You are going to lose 1 to 2 hours of screen on time from your smartphone using it, and that is something. They also have an UA1, which I will only review in writing because those videos take a lot of time to process. It's not about me making the videos, it is about cutting them, editing them. Everything that comes in contact with video takes a lot of time, and I'm trying to put in video the most interesting products, while the stuff that I can review only in writing, I'll do just in writing. Please remember, those videos are to be fun for you, are to be enjoyable, are to be entertaining. Those videos are not necessarily the most reliable source of information because I stutter sometimes, I get confused sometimes. Camera shy a bit. If you need very reliable, very precise, very well written information, go to the website audiophile-heaven.com. The Shanling UA2. This is a portable DAC/headphone amplifier, and lately I've been pondering something. I want to upgrade my smartphone. This is the Poco F2 Pro and it has a headphone jack. It has a pretty good quality to that headphone jack, but it has been becoming less and less fun to use. It is quite slow and I've been spoiled. I've tested some high refresh rate smartphones and I'm really enthusiastic about those. I really want one now and I don't know what to upgrade to because there are very few smartphones with high refresh rates that do have a smartphone jack, and one of those is the Asus ROG Phone, but that one breaks and I don't really want to go that route. So I may go with a smartphone that has no headphone jack, but I still need it. I need it because I'm using the smartphone to listen to music while in my car. My car, the DAC Logan, does not have Bluetooth, and in that situation something like the UA2 is a true lifesaver because I just plug it in and I can use a smartphone that does not come with a headphone jack by default. That is important, that is something big for me because it extends what smartphones I can get and it extends my fun ultimately. That is what life is about, having some fun. I will blast some loud music to annoy my neighbors, but in the meantime, I wanted to show this. This is a very simple setup. doesn't really cost much above the initial price of the smartphone, and although most smartphones do not come with a microSD slot, they do have about 256 gigabytes, and that is enough to put on a compilation of your music. It won't be enough to put your entire music collection, let's be honest about that. I have a huge discography or discographies of many bands, and my smartphone is nowhere near enough, but it is good enough for me to do a portable setup, and with something like this it is very convenient. Now at 85 bucks you are getting the sound similar to a HBR3 Pro. Honestly, it is pretty much in the same ballpark. Very good dynamics, excellent detail, a ton of blast, a ton of punch, a ton of driving power as well, and it is very fun to listen to. It is very dynamic and engaging. It is not very neutral though, it is a bit colored, a bit on the warmer side of things, and that works well with the HiFiMan Sundara, HiFiMan HA 400 series in general, because that gives those HiFiMan headphones a slightly better bass while taking some of the edge off the treble. And most HiFiMan entry-level planar magnetic headphones are known for having a slightly colder and brighter sound, so it pairs very well with those. On the other hand, it doesn't really pair so well with very warm or very thick sounding headphones like Brainwave's Alara or Verum 1, for example, although the Mark II from Verum 1 is quite neutral in reality, so that one might be a good pair. SIV-GAPI 2 is a so-and-so pair. It has good dynamics and good detail, but at the same time SIV-GAPI 2 was already a bit warm and a bit too much, so in that situation I would probably recommend getting a slightly brighter and more analytical sounding dongle. And that is a good thing to mention. When considering the enemies and the competitors of this one, you don't have many options. And this is a big reason why you would want to get the Shanling UA2. It has an outstanding price to performance ratio. Like, that is why I'm basically recommending it. This is why I'm excited about it. You are getting this type of quality at less than half the price of Earman Sparrow, and it performs pretty similarly. The Earman Sparrow does have MQA, and I have not seen how to get MQA working with the Shanling UA2, but besides MQA, the Sparrow has a bit more driving power, but the UA2 is more convenient because it is much cheaper and you have enough budget left to even purchase a pair of pretty good EMs like iBasso IT00 or IT01S, some FIOS. You have some money left, and that is important because when making a setup you need to consider what is most important. The Earman Sparrow is still a slightly better DAC/headphone amplifier, and a mini one at that, but the UA2 is convenient too. I mean, less expensive, pretty much the same sound. It is in the same ballpark of detail, in the same ballpark of resolution and of dynamics. The results of your BTR5. BTR5 is better in terms of overall usability because it has a Bluetooth connection, it has aptX, LDAC. It also covers this usage as a DAC/headphone amplifier. But at the end of the day, I would much rather use something simple like the UA2 that does not have a built-in battery and which can't die in time. Because FIO BTR5 does have a built-in battery, and if you are using it a lot, especially in this format as a DAC/headphone amplifier, it may lose that battery and in time it will degrade a bit. The UA2 is also less expensive than the BTR5, and it is pretty much at the same price at BTR3K, and it is much better than BTR3K. BTR3K is warmer, thicker, it has less detail, less resolution and less dynamics. The UA2 is better in that aspect. It has better resolution, better dynamics, better overall clarity. You also have the balanced connector, which I spent very little time with because I don't really have that taste for balanced quite yet. I need more balanced cables, I need more balanced headphones, more balanced EMs, but connecting it to the FIO H5S, it has more driving power on balanced, it sounds even better, more detailed, more resolution, better overall clarity, and it drains power even slightly faster. At least this is what it felt like to me. I have not done those professional tests quite yet. Although it does not have MQA, for those enthusiasts who are very enthusiastic about high resolution, it can decode DSD, and really nice job from the guys at Shanling. I like having DSD decoding. It can decode high resolution PCM files, which I like even better because I have very few DSD albums. They are very hard to find. And it has an ASS chip, so it won't be affected by the fire at the Asahi Kasei building, and in that terms there is a DAC shortage on the market and most companies are reverting to ASS chips rather than using Asahi Kasei chips or AK chips, and that thing led to a supply shortage of DACs, especially in our terms of enthusiast DAC, because there are many other DACs on the market. Smartphones won't run out of DACs because one very small boutique company that makes DACs for enthusiast burn DAC. In the long term, that affects us because there are some Asahi Kasei models that sounded quite good. So yeah, I do feel the pain when knowing that the Asahi Kasei factory burned. The UA2 does not get affected by that, so it should be in supply for a lot longer. Shanling is also a very good company because they typically make very high-end products. They make very expensive DAPs. They also make some of the finest high-end stereo systems in China. So the whole thing with Shanling is that they are known for making good products. They aren't known for making cheap or entry-level stuff, but when they do make something cheap and entry-level, when they do make something that is affordable, they make it very right because they already have the experience from behind. And on that note, I totally do recommend the Shanling UA2. Two things that I like to mention are that first, it comes with a mode specially designed for gamers and it works with gaming consoles. I actually tested it against the built-in sound system on my motherboard. My motherboard right now is the Gigabyte Aorus B550 Master, and that motherboard comes with a pretty high-end audio part by itself. But still, the UA2 was able to beat it badly. Like, this one sounds much clearer, much better dynamics, much better resolution. It is improved in every way. So if I just got my computer and if I needed to enable it with a pretty good sound, I would just snap one of those into my keyboard, because my keyboard also has a USB header, and I would be done with it. I would be able to listen to high-end music from my keyboard. Very convenient, like I can just have some IEMs, and yeah, that is the point of the UA2. It is how convenient it is. And the second thing is that the headphone amplifier chip is actually something I have never heard of before. Like, personally, as a reviewer, I've reviewed 300 things so far. 300. I reviewed pretty much everything that comes. Everything that comes out, I try to get it and review it. But the headphone chip that is inside the UA2, the headphone amplifier chip, is named the Recore RT6863 headphone amp chip, like Recore. I have never heard about this company before, but after hearing the UA2, I want to know of more products that are using it because it sounds nice. It just has a nice sound. It has a very dynamic sound. It won't impress you with how clear and how accurate it is, but it will impress you with dynamics, with a very engaging sound. And as Shanling tried to code the thing, it is made for gamers. Like, if you are playing a game, you get very good render of explosions, very good bass rumble, very good impact, and you don't get that fatiguing sound that some of the brighter units have. So it is good for long hours of playing or long hours of listening. Speaking of long periods of time, I hope that you will come back to audiophile-heaven and that I will keep creating awesome content for you for a really long time. I hope you will consider leaving a like on this video. Also, press subscribe to audiophile-heaven for more awesome content from me, from audiophile-heaven, from George. I hope you have the loveliest of weeks in there. And don't forget, you can donate if you want to help. There are some links in the video description. Thank you and hope to see you really soon. Bye bye.